Hey guys, I hope you're all doing okay. I hope you've all had awesome weeks. I'm going to be carrying on with the stories of faith this morning, just talking about my story, about my testimony. I've been raised in a Christian family, brought up, always been, I guess I've always known, or at least known about God and Jesus, because it was growing up, that was what I was taught, because I actually grew up in the Brethren Church, which for those of you who don't know about the Brethren Church, it was sort of a bit more old school. I guess it was a lot more regulated in a way. There was certain things that had to be done and things had to be done in certain ways. But yeah, that's how I grew up until probably I was about 11 or so, and that was always it was just a bit weird, I guess, for me as a kid. Very sheltered in a way. We never really spoke with people outside of the Brethren Church, other than when I was at school and stuff. But outside of that, because I'm from quite a big family, and most of our family from around Worcester was part of the Brethren Church, so we would just spend time together, and we'd never really have experiences and interactions with people outside of the Brethren Church. But probably in 2010, I think it was, we left that church, our family, and for a couple of years before that, I'd been going along to the Friday night kids stuff at St Paul's, which I really enjoyed. It was great, just a fun way to learn more about the Bible and learn more stories, but also just have a laugh and to my friends. And that was always I really enjoyed that and looked forward to that, because it was so different to any of my experience of church. It was always, as I was a kid, I always thought it was really boring and really quiet, but obviously that was just flipped on its head. But yeah, so when we left, we started coming to St Paul's, because obviously I've been and our family had been involved with all the kids stuff, going along to that. So we went along to St Paul's to see how it was, and immediately my earliest memories, obviously I was still very young, but it was always so much more open and welcoming, and it was almost when I first walked through the doors, we've always said that it always felt right. It always felt like a family, which is obviously one of my favourite things about our church, is the family aspect of it. But when I sort of started to be able to process things a bit better, because obviously until then it was just sort of, I'd been told everything when I was growing up, and I sort of believed it, because that was just what I told them. I sort of knew what they were on about, but I never really got my head around it, because I guess I was just too young to really form my own opinions and my own beliefs. But yeah, so that was about the time when that was all starting to go in my brain, and it was all starting to think a lot more, and starting to be, I've always been a very, in terms of school and stuff, I've always been very sciencey and maths and all this, so I've always been a logical person, so I've always thought things through and tried to have an explanation for stuff. And so some things there just isn't, as I've learned over the years. Some stuff that God does, there's no logical explanation for it. It's just amazing miracles, and just having faith in Him. And then one year, I think it was 2011, Soul Survivor, which it's just awesome. I've got so many incredible memories of Soul Survivor. I wouldn't have time to even touch on most of them. But yeah, one year I just remember seeing in the first big top meeting, there's 8,000 young people there, or obviously 8,000 people, but the majority young people, who at the time it's just unfathomable. There's that many people who have all just got a common belief, and just seeing so much joy there. And then I think what really did it was on the first night, I remember Mike and Andy invited people up to give their lives to God, and I guess I'd always believed in God, and I'd always sort of believed that I trusted in Jesus and I was going to heaven one day. But just seeing everyone there who made that decision, made that commitment for the first time to go forward, it's just really set something off for me. I don't know what it was, but I always had it was that sort of the light bulb moment where I sort of right, okay, this is this is real. This is hard hitting stuff, and just seeing that atmosphere of so many people just giving their lives to God, and everyone there supporting, seeing like tears from people, seeing joy and just everything put together. That really, I think that was the moment when I had sort of like I said, that light bulb of when it really all clicked for me. And that's when since then, obviously been still coming along St Paul's. There's definitely been tough times and some easier times in my life since then, but that's how it goes, and it's never going to be smooth sailing. It's been a long journey since then, and obviously it will be a journey from now going forward, ups and downs, but I just so thankful that I know God and He's in my life, because I hate to imagine what my life would have been like without Him.